Hello, beautiful people. I'm not sure how many people are in here right this minute. I know Grumpy was just finishing up Thrasher's Garage was just finishing up his last giveaway. Um, First of all, guys, I want to throw out an apology. I know that the schedule got a little messed up. That was not um, anybody's fault. It was not that anybody didn't want to participate. They just the young lady that had this time slot was she is an RN, and her schedule got changed. She got called into work, so I decided to fill in. So I apologize for not being as prepared as I should. But anyway, guys, there's you guys have heard all night, uh, for what, nearly 18 hours now. You've heard all about knife rights. You had multiple opportunities to hear Doug Ritter talk about knife rights and what they do and how important it is. We'll touch on that some, and you know, um, I've got mods that'll be here. I'm sure they're going to throw up links in the description. I apologize. I don't have a ticker at the bottom. I'm not I'm not very tech savvy, so I don't know how to do that yet. But guys, what I wanted to talk about during my spot today was some of the behind the scenes stuff and what went into putting this together. Many of you know the story, you've heard it several times, but this was kind of the brainchild of Grateful Panic and myself. Um, we were both uh, just brainstorming one night after KC from Knives Fast made a joking comment about Grateful Panic doing a 24-hour live because his lives ran on for so long. I'll make it short, but anyway, we came up with this idea, and I'll be honest, guys. When we originally brainstormed this idea, the intent was to create more exposure for smaller channels. Well, not just necessarily smaller channels, but just channels maybe that you haven't experienced. We wanted to get as many content creators as we could together to do this marathon so that people could have a chance to kind of meet those people and get to know them a little bit. And it was actually Grateful Panic's idea when he said, "Hey guys, if we're going to do this, let's let's make it for a cause." And the first thing out of his mouth was knife rights. So every penny that has been raised to go towards knife rights originated with Mr. Grateful Panic, and we all owe him a thank you for that. Reach out to him on Instagram; it'd mean a lot to him. He hasn't been able to produce content as much lately. Um, he's kind of rebuilding some things in his life and having to having to have a little different priorities. He does plan to come back and give us all a place again. So keep that in mind. But the like I said, that was kind of his idea. Um, some of the stuff that you guys don't know is there is a Knives Live Instagram chat group where all of the content creators it gives us all a place to go in and post ideas or questions or information about Knives Live. And you know I don't know if you guys realize this, but this goes on for several weeks, and people have to take time out of their day. And most all these people have lives, they have families, they have jobs. That they're taking time out of their day to communicate with one another, and not only that, but some people more than others. Some people have more contacts than others. But guys, for weeks, these guys have been reaching out to manufacturers and distributors and companies and asking them to donate items um, for so that you know so that you guys can have a great grand prize giveaway. Um, I'll be honest, guys. The first year I was going to give away my Protect SMG. That one knife was all I was planning to give away. And I would have been happy with that. But this thing grew so fast and got so big um, that I don't know that a one knife giveaway would have been enough, to constitute how much participation there was. And Kevin over at Lefty EDC was just adamant. He's like, no, you keep your knife. We'll get the prizes, and man, did they. Uh, I talked about this on Bob DeMarco, but I remember a picture of Kevin's living room. I'm sure his wife had to be mad at him for all the boxes stacked up in there. And that guy puts in so much work, guys. If you've ever been in Lefty's live and you've seen me and Lefty communicate, um, to a stranger, you may think Lefty and I don't even like each other. Our love language is picking at each other and you know making fun of each other and trying to to get one up on each other. It's just that's just our friendship. But I love Kevin. Kevin is an incredible human being who can also be an asshole at times, but he's a beautiful asshole. Bettina saved that. So anyway, like I said, man, not only are people gathering all this stuff, but the amount of time and effort that Kevin puts into collecting it all, everything is shipped to Kevin, and I'll explain why that is in a moment. But he has to break it all down and kind of decide monetarily and cool factor or whatever method Kevin uses. He puts it into prize packages, and tries to make them as as equal as possible. Granted, sometimes there's going to be a prize package that seems to be the better one. That's just the nature of the game. But not only that, guys, Kevin also pays for every penny of the shipping. Guys, this stuff don't fit in a $9 flat rate box. I don't know what he spends, but it's excessive considering that it's one man doing it. My goal for next year is to figure out a way to fix that. Um, I try to make this as free as possible for content creators to participate. I do ask them to do a giveaway, just purely to draw people in who might not come otherwise. I know those aren't always the subscribers that you may want, but it's how I advertise it. When I flood Facebook with ads about this, I tell them about all the giveaways. So some guys are in a fortunate enough spot that they have companies that also donate their personal giveaway items, and that's great. Some guys are coming out of pocket for that, but like I said, Kevin is paying to ship all of it, and that's amazing, guys. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does inside his community because this is only a small part of it. He's a extremely giving human being. Um, he may make fun of you and turn around and give you the shirt off his back because that's just the kind of guy he is. And I want to make damn sure that he gets the credit that he deserves for doing that. Guys, I'm on a fixed income. I couldn't ship all this stuff. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pay for it. So without Kevin, this wouldn't be possible. And there are a ton of other people who have helped me through this. Um, you know, Most of you know about Javon, who's John Evans. I believe it was Tri-State that mispronounced his name and called him Javon, and it's stuck ever since. But Javon is really good with technology and spreadsheets and keeping up with all this stuff. I've been kind of picking at him all night tonight, telling him I want an update, an update on the spreadsheet, and it's probably the closest he's ever been to cussing me because there's no way possible you can't do it. The entries are coming in so fast. That's why we have to give ourselves a little time, uh, to get all that together. Because trust me, it's going to take a little while. It's not as simple as you think. Those emails come in. He has to enter that information onto a spreadsheet, and how many giveaway entries that that you bought, and it's a pain in the butt. And so like I said, I couldn't do this without the Javon because I don't know how to do any of that. I just screw it all up. You guys will see here in a little while. Even my giveaway is kind of janky, man. I just I've only got this one device, so we'll get to that in a minute how I'm going to do that. But and then when all this is over, Kevin has to do another video, and a giveaway, and this is all time out of a man's life who has a small child and a wife that I'm sure probably rather be spending time with than us bunch of assholes. But he does that, and it's great. And you know, like I said, I guess I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to make sure that these people get the credit they deserve. There are a lot of other people who support us, and I don't even know if they know it. But we've got a core group of content creators that I that just like last year, I sent out that question, hey, Nas Live's coming up, do you want to participate? I send it because it's a technicality, but there's a core group of them that I know is going to be a definite yes, barring something personal, whatever. But it's awesome that I have those people that I can depend on every year. Um, you guys don't know what that means to me. I'm not going to name you all off because I'll forget somebody and I'll feel horrible about it. But I mean, you know who you are, you know, and without content creators and without hosts for each of these time slots, this wouldn't be possible. Um, and by this, I don't just mean the good time we all have, picking at one another and trying to see who can stay up for 24 hours, and the awesome conversations that we have in the chat. I see them now. It's an incredible social event, and for those of you who are new to this, for those of you who came here for the giveaways or to find out what this Knives Live thing is, guys, this happens daily. It doesn't happen for 24 hours, but this happens daily. Some days 2 and 3 times a day, you can jump on live streams, and there are incredible people. And, not just the host of that particular live stream, but the people in the chat who want to, uh, you know, who want to talk about a shared passion. They want, they're, a lot of these lives, guys, you'll find that there are places you can go to talk about your mental health. There are places that you can go to talk about your drug addiction, all right here within the knife community. I know that sounds weird to an outsider. It may sound crazy, but it exists. If you've never been on a Backpack B night owl live at 2 o'clock in the morning with 15 to 20 other grown men in tears, talking about their past and the dark places they've been in and the things they've had to overcome, it is incredible. You literally can't pay for that kind of therapy. Um, I'm not going to call him out, but I know one guy right now that comes to mind immediately that came in for some knife talk, and somebody mentioned addiction, and he was, to be honest, a lot of us were offended because when he said, "Are you guys talking about drug addiction?" we thought he was taking offense to it. And within 5 minutes, we find out that he's not. We find out that this guy is struggling with addiction, and everybody reached out to him. Everybody comforted him. Everybody let him know, that he had a place here. Everybody let him know that he had nothing to be ashamed of. And as far as I know, he's on his road to recovery. He knows he's got more people than he can count that have his back, that are there for him. If regardless of what it is, if he just needs an ear to talk into, it's there. Um, some of you guys know that I've had some, I've had a pretty rough weekend, to be honest. I'm just going to call her a good friend that I've known for, I don't know, over 15 years. Um, that I had actually helped monetarily get into rehab and was doing great. Had been clean for a couple of years. Got her child back. Was getting her life in order. Was doing great. And that monster came knocking, and she answered, and she's not with us anymore. Uh, she didn't die of an overdose. She just injected enough fentanyl that she passed out in the shower and drowned. Serious stuff, you know. So, beyond our passion and our fun and our hobby, it's great to have a group of people that you can talk to and you can share these things with. And, we all talk about EDC, And some of you are gonna think this is silly, guys, and I apologize, I forgot to get it out. But EDC's everyday carry. The majority of us concentrate on, our pocket knife and or or maybe our vape and our wallet and our watch and our flashlight and things like that. But something I want to strongly urge you to look into for your EDC is Narcan. Um, I don't know how hard or easy it is to get. I got it because I was on a pain management regimen with the VA, and anybody with the VA that was prescribed a an opiate was automatically mailed uh, two things of Narcan. Um, I don't feel like I need Narcan because I don't abuse my pain meds, but I like knowing that I have it. You never know. Guys, if you get your hands on it and you keep it in your glove box, and one of these days you pass away and that Narcan has rotted in your glove box, absolutely nothing was lost. But if there's ever that moment that you run across somebody and you think that that may be what is happening, you could save a life. Not only could you save a life, you could save many lives from being impacted from something like this. I've looked into it. If you Narcan a perfectly innocent sleeping person, it will not harm them. So it's not like giving somebody a shot of insulin that doesn't need it. It's pretty harmless if you're not overdosing. So check with your local health departments, call up, your fire department, whoever you have to. Find out if you can get your hands on it. EDC it. I don't mean you have to carry it in your pocket, but keep it somewhere where if you ever need it, no life is worth watching uh, wilt away over a mistake. Um, I've been guilty of it too, talking about dope heads, and I've heard the argument that why should tax dollars pay for Narcan? Guys, we've all made mistakes in life, and it's a mistake just like anything else. But at a point, I know for a fact there are at least a dozen people in here right now that can tell you it's not a mistake after a while. It's not a choice after a while. It is a overwhelming urge that the average human can't fight. So anyway, I don't want to dwell on that too long, but if you ever get it, if you get the opportunity to obtain it and keep it in your glove box, wherever you feel comfortable keeping it, it's an important tool that could help save somebody you love, or it could help save somebody that somebody loves. Remember, somebody loves that person. No matter how strung out they are, somebody loves that person, and their life is worth saving. So keep that in mind. I'd love to see in the comments over the next few weeks or in live some. I'd love to see some people announcing that they've either already had it or that they've acquired it, and that they're ready to save a life if needed, um, because it makes a difference. Um, I don't want to do this live and make it a woe is shame kind of moment, but I got even worse. Well, not even worse, but I got more bad news this morning. Um, that my grandson's dad, who hasn't been a dad at all, I never cared for the young man. He's never stepped up and been the dad. He's not been a part of the kid's life at all. Um, However, that being said, I had no bad wishes for him, and I found out this morning that he was shot and killed last night senselessly. Um, I looked into it. It was unprovoked. It was just a pride thing. Guy shot him and killed him. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough weekend. So I apologize if I'm not my normal cheerful self. I don't know how often I am my normal cheerful self, but anyway, let's get back to the fun parts of this, guys. These prize packages I haven't seen, and I want to explain to you why I haven't seen. I've never seen nor have I ever touched a prize for Knives Live. That was intentional because My biggest fear of doing this is for anybody, whether they are in the community, outside the community, anybody to ever question whether or not I profited from Knives Live. I will be completely upfront with you about that. I had all the prizes shipped to Lefty because I trust Lefty. I think we all trust Lefty. Um, so I had that all shipped there so that he could distribute it. And the thought of paying the shipping, that didn't cross my mind when that was going on. But luckily that worked out. But so yeah, I've never touched any of the prizes. I've never received anything. None of these content creators have received anything for any of this. This was all 100% charitable. They all, took time out of their lives, their families' lives to do it. It's cost them all something. So, um, do us all a solid, man. Reach out to these guys individually. Go on Instagram. Thank each and every one of them for not only for doing it, but for doing a great job. We added a couple of new people this year. I hope to continue that trend in years coming. And I want to explain why I want to do that. We had last year we had some guys have to do 2 hour slots because we didn't have enough people. This year that was not an issue. Um, it was actually right down to the last moment. It was perfect. We had 24 people that wanted to participate, and 24 people did. We went for 24 slots. We had kind of a last minute idea, somebody we could have added. It was a little bit too late. That particular person has astronomical sub numbers. If any of you guys saw me challenge Doug, I want to be clear about that, why I did that. And that's because, guys, there are content creators who you all know, and many of them that you love, that are way bigger than some of the people that we've had on. I've reached out to all those guys. I send them all messages. I know they don't know who I am. And I'm sure a lot of those messages went to spam folders. Um, Everybody in here is probably guilty of not checking their spam folder often enough. I found messages in mine that are months old. I feel horrible that I didn't, respond to that person. So what I'm getting at is it's not um, it's nothing to be mad at anybody about. Like I said, they don't know who I am. We all get junk, messages on Instagram. So the reason I challenged Doug to reach out to Metal Complex to see if he would participate. Um, a couple of people have reached out to me and said, "Hey, do we need him?" It's absolutely, and I'll tell you why. Because there's no pride involved in any of this. This is all about getting as much exposure for knife rights as we possibly can. And if two of his subs come over and watch that didn't before, then that's two more people that that we've exposed to knife rights, possibly that have bought knife rights memberships. Um, I'll let you know that next year, if we do add some of these people, I know Brandon from Everyday Minimalist is interested. Um, we some of us may have to team up and do lives, and that's okay because nobody here, uh, to my knowledge, nobody here is concerned about you know who the host is, who the guest is, their own personal exposure. Everybody's in this for knife rights, so just prepare for that next year. I always ask ahead of time, just like the crappy schedule hours that exist. Man, some of those are really hard. You got guys like Mike Imler that it looked like he was going to be on at 6 a.m. Guys, his time zone that's 4 a.m. and that sucks. To think about having to stay up or get up to do a 4 a.m. 1 hour slot. But a lot of the guys that did that this year volunteered for it. I always ask right up front who wants to volunteer for these shitty time slots. You'd be shocked at how many of them were volunteered for. So it wasn't hard to do. Z-Man, I hear you on Taylor Martin. If he would answer my messages, that would be awesome. And maybe that's a mistake I've made. Maybe I haven't leaned on the community enough. Maybe some of you guys are members there and stuff like that. So maybe you know you would have more pull getting some of these people than I would. So next year we're going to make that a little more open. and so who all we can get in. I'd love you know for and that's why I invited Kaylee for Carry Every Day, was because she's a little different community, to be honest. The majority of her fans are from Instagram. I know she's somewhat connected to some of the guys from Knife Nuts. I'd love to get some of the guys from the Knife Nuts group. I mean, you're talking about epic content creators like Advanced Knife Bro and Cedric and Ada. I've seen him on there. I'd love to expand this in further into the knife communities, because trust me, there's not just one knife community, guys. There's several. If you search for enough knife channels, you'll find one you've never heard of that's got a good solid sub count. And if you watch him long enough, you'll find out that there are 10 or 15 channels connected to that guy. Just like, you know, no different than Thrasher's Garage is connected to Lefty, and Z-Man's connected to Big Red and to Zach. And um, there's dozens of these communities out there. And I think it would be awesome if we could combine all those and see to it that Knife Rights never has to question whether or not they can afford a plane ticket and a hotel and stuff like that to send a guy to go fight for for a freedom for us. Because any freedom we have is worth fighting for. I don't mean with violence. I don't mean with hate. I mean the way they're doing it. You know, you've heard Doug say this 2 or 3 times already last night. You'll hear it again a couple of times today. That Pennsylvania took 10 years. That's thousands of dollars in plane tickets and hotel rooms, and it's a little unfair when you think about it, that they're doing this for us. We are the people who benefit from it. Um, a $35 a year membership, or even if it's just a small monetary donation, if that's all you can afford. Um, we owe that to that man for what the work that he's put in to provide a freedom for us. Uh, and unless you're blind, you've had to see, you know, certain freedoms of ours over the past few years. If they didn't disappear, they've at least dwindled. They became less free. Um, all freedoms are worth fighting for. All freedoms have to be fought for. None of them are free anymore. Um, and some freedoms are scary as hell. And some of them we don't like, but freedom is freedom. It's just that. You know, uh, I don't take it upon myself to tell any man, woman, or child what they can or cannot do if it doesn't negatively affect me and my family. Um, that's what freedom is. Whether you agree with that freedom or not, um, I'm okay with that. I don't. You don't have to believe the way I believe. You don't have to. You don't have to hold near and dear the things that I do. But just remember that if you support taking any type of freedom away from an American citizen, you are, how do I put this? You're rolling that snowball. You're adding to it. Um, if you're supporting taking freedoms away from anybody in any kind, then you're supporting taking freedoms away, and that's dangerous. To me, that's more scary than some freedoms are. So just keep that in mind, guys. Keep in mind that that's why we do this. Yes, we do it to have a good time. Yes, we do it to laugh and joke and cut up. But this really is important. Um, I may not be the one to be talking about that, like I said, because it wasn't even my idea originally, as far as this benefiting knife rights. So the just keep that in mind, that this is about fighting for freedom. This is a way that you can do that. You don't even have to raise your right hand and agree to die for your country. You don't have to be downrange. You don't have to be in harm's way. This is a way that you could participate in the fight for freedom. So what you're doing and what you have done is way more important than you will ever know. Um, I'm going to be very careful in explaining how I'm going to do this giveaway. I didn't want to wait till the end of the hour. I know a lot of people like to jump in at the very end to try to catch a giveaway. But so anyway, this is how I'm going to do it. Don't start posting anything yet. What I'm going to do is, and my moderator doesn't know the answer yet. I have written down um, a playing card, standard 52 playing card deck. Everybody knows it's ace through king, hearts, diamonds, spades, clovers. I've written down one card. When I say start, and not until I say start, you're going to get one guess. You're going to guess one time, one card. And when it's over, I'm gonna show the card, and my moderators are going to go back through the comments and see who the winner is. There will be no knife off if there's a tie. There is no tie. If two people, four people, 15 people guess the same card, the first guess wins. And the reason for that is, yes, you can lay back and watch the answers to try to make sure yours isn't duplicated. However, the first person that answers it is the winner. So here we go. I'm gonna I'm you guys are gonna, when I say start, you guys are gonna guess a playing card. Say, I'll just go ahead and throw this out there so you know it's not it. Two of diamonds. You're gonna get one guess, you're gonna guess one playing card, and the first person to guess it right is the winner. So don't do multiple guesses. So on my go, start. Aquatics, you can guess again. There's no joker. Tina, I don't have a way to answer you, buddy. I've only got one. I've only got one device. But give it a minute. Let everybody get their guess in. I talked about it on Thrasher's live. To be honest, I don't remember if I've talked about it on mine. But what you're winning is a Spyderco Delica and K390 Warncliffe. Um, yeah, this is not a brand new knife. I do have a box. This knife was actually uh, gifted to me by Miss Erica from Not Your Average GDC because I really wanted to experience some K390. She was kind enough to gift me this. Wait to see if the 13 delivers. Mimo, you're an idiot. Draw four, there are no cards. Tina, I apologize. I probably should have messaged you ahead of time and let you know what the card was. But all right, guys, I'm going to count down from 10, and that's going to be and that's going to end it. So we're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Patina and Kyle, the winning card is the Jack of Spades. So if you have the Jack of Spades, if you guess the Jack of Spades, you can shout it out. But my mods are going to go back and look for who guessed Jack of Spades first, and see if we have a winner or not. So I'll give them a minute to do that, because that can be a little time consuming sometimes. So we're waiting on either Patina Turner and, well, not either, but Patina Turner and Kyle Kunel to agree on who the first Jack of Spades was. And I did see one, so I know there's a winner. Acid test kits. Nick, that's funny. That's really funny. I'm glad nobody's brought that up today, or even asked why. There it is, Kyle. Patina, do you agree? Mr. Kyle Kunel says, and Kyle, I apologize if I'm saying that. Is it Kunel or is it Kunel? Anyway, yeah, I'm seeing Lacy Lace over and over. That's awesome. Lacey, you'll really enjoy getting this knife, because it is a tad bit misground, as most knives are, right here towards the ricasso. Um, I put an edge on it back when I first got it, but as you can see, it's a little shallow here. So I'm sure you're going to have fun with that K390, because I know you and your OCD, you're not going to be able to stand it. So you're going to have to rub that back and forth across some diamond until you fix that. So yeah, and that makes it awesome, because it was Lacey's birthday. So congratulations, Lacey. Um, uh, Lacey and I we follow each other on IG, so you know how to get in touch with me. Just get your address, and I'll get you your knife on your way on its way to you. That's awesome. Guys, one thing I really loved about tonight is that uh, it's been really fun seeing the winners, because uh, not only the way the creators did the lives, it made sure that the winner was present. But as far as I've seen, the vast majority of the winners are what I consider uh, dedicated viewers. People that you can hear in the people's voice when they're announcing winners. Just people that they know their name. They know these people have been supporting them for a long time. They're constantly in the chat, and that's awesome. I mean, it's also awesome to see a new person win too. But you know, if they just come around for a giveaway, yeah, you guys know what I mean. But everybody remember too, the biggest thing you can do to thank these content creators, like I said, it'd be awesome if you'd reach out to them on Instagram and thank them for what they did. But just check, make sure you're sub to these folks. And if you're a new sub, remember, to if you ring the bell and you let it play for 10, 15 seconds to make sure the algorithm doesn't think you're a bot and kicks you out. That'd be awesome, because we've all seen that happen, where guys will get a huge sub boost, and then 2 days later it's all gone, because you know so many people went in, hit the subscribe button, left, never went back, never watched anything, didn't turn the notifications on, and they lost those subs. And that's kind of heartbreaking. It's especially heartbreaking when you're in a position like, um, for instance, like Mr. Grumpy Grunt right now. He just broke 1,000. He's super happy about that. He's excited. Everybody's excited for him. He deserved it a long time ago. But how sad would that be if he woke up tomorrow morning and had 99 again? So let's try to make sure that doesn't happen. One other thing I want to talk about, I just covered how to make sure your sub sticks, by ringing the bell, watching a little bit of the content. But just that you guys know, there are other ways you can support your favorite YouTube channel. Um, not everybody has money to donate. Not everybody has money for memberships. Everybody knows there's memberships, there's Patreons, there's super chats, there's all that stuff. We all know about that. Not everybody can afford to do that. That's completely understandable. However, there are ways that you can help your channel without ever spending a dime. Um, you know, one is liking their content, sharing their content, making sure you're subbed to their content. But another is a lot of these channels, guys, have what are called affiliate links. And what that means is when they're showing you a knife, when they're doing a review on a knife, many times down in the description of the video will be a link where you can go and purchase that knife. All these links are different. Some of them just give you a discount, which is great. Some of them, um, you might not be getting a discount, but you're getting the knife for normal retail price. But that content creator may get a tiny piece of that. Some are both, and that's great because it helps your content creation. I promise you guys, I only post about a video a week because I can't afford. I don't have any monetary assistance yet, so I can't afford to purchase things for giveaways. I can't afford to purchase things for reviews sometimes. Now, the community's great about that. If I ask more, they would give more. But just keep that in mind. There are multiple ways to to help your channel. And Knife Nut 69 just brought up an awesome way to do it. I do this nearly every night. When I get ready to go to sleep, I pick a channel that I like or that I've even just heard of. Maybe heard about it that night. I go to that channel. If they have a playlist, if their videos are set up in a playlist, small channels listen to this because if you don't have a playlist, you're making a huge mistake. Because if their videos in their playlist, I click repeat. And I just let that playlist play all night while I sleep. That person is getting YouTube watch hours because of that. If they don't have a playlist, what happens is you might get one, you might get two of their videos, and then it's going to jump to something else because that's how YouTube works. So if you're a smaller channel, make sure you're putting everything into playlists. And if you're a fan of a channel, whether you can or can't afford to financially support that channel, make sure you're going in at night. If you want to do the same channel every night, I mean, that's up to you. I tend to try to, pick a different channel every night. And then if it's been a few weeks and I know that guy's probably posted 10 videos since I was there, I may go revisit that and let it play in loop. I just hit repeat, like I said. When I wake up, it's still playing. That gets those guys watch hours. Guys, getting 1,000 subs is one thing. I've seen a lot of people reach 1,000 subs and it'd be months before they could be monetized because they don't have enough watch hours. So that helps a lot. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about, it's been a hit on some, and I know Stevie talked about it some, but uh, guys, for those of you who can't afford to donate to Knife Rights, there is another way. If you shop on Amazon, there's somebody in the comments is going to have to correct me on this. It's Smile Points or Smile Rewards. I can't remember, but there's a way you can go onto Amazon and you can pick a charity and 0.5% of your purchase, nothing out of your pocket. It doesn't cost you any more. But Amazon takes 0.5% of what you spend and they donate it to that charity. Knife Rights received about $2,000 last quarter off of that Amazon Smile program. So that's a huge way to help if you're already buying things that you needed to buy anyway, and a small piece of that can go to Amazon Smile. Yeah. So yeah, a small piece of that can go to them, and they need all the help we can get. You've heard it many times over the last 15, 17 hours. I'm so sleepy, I don't remember, but yeah, it's Doug, his wife, and I'm sure what is not cheap, but his lobbyist. Um, lobbyists cost money, plane tickets cost money, meals cost money, hotels cost money. They have to pay for all that. So let's do all we can to help those guys out. And not only that, man, but do all you can to help out the channels that you appreciate. I know, there's probably a large percentage of us in here who cut the cord. We don't have cable at all anymore. We don't have television at all anymore. We're getting all of our entertainment from streaming services and from YouTube. I watch 90% of is on my television comes through YouTube. I don't have to pay anybody for that. Um, that's why I don't mind helping and super chatting when I can because you know it's a lot cheaper than my cable bill was. That's for sure. The last cable bill I paid was $220 for garbage television. It's just not worth it anymore. So yeah, and if you can't, like I say, if you can't support monetarily, support them with a kind word. That's the least you can do. But anyway, my time's almost up. I've still got a few minutes to go. Kind of, I'm running out of thoughts, guys. I am so tired. But yeah, Nick Martino, you're right. It takes data to watch YouTube. So I mean, there is some cost incurred, but not like it was with Comcast. But yeah, the Shredder knife reviews is up next, guys. Let's please go show the Shredder family some love. They've been having some difficult times with their channel. Their channel's doing great. It's great content. It's wholesome family stuff, man. It's awesome to watch. It's a man teaching his son how to be a man. Teaching him about using cutting tools and how to use them safely. And some troll reported them for child endangerment, and they've had to make their channel private until those strikes go away to keep from losing their channel. And that's just horrible, man. They're crushing this poor little kid's dream. He worked so hard to get to where he's at. Um, you know, it may even be a little bit risky that the shredders are, you know, are taking this chance of doing this live today. And that means the world to me that, that there's some risk to that. They're willing to do it anyway because they want to be a part of this. Um, I felt horrible last year because, guys, I didn't know what I was doing. And there were several people I forgot, and the Shredder family was one of them. I'm not going to lie and say I didn't know who they were because I did, and I love them already. So I'm excited to have them on this year. So, when this is over, jump over there to Shredder. It might be a little bit confusing if you go there right this minute. I don't know if it's still set on private. I know he did do a test run to make sure that he could go live, and it did work. So, if you get there and uh, give it a minute, for him to go on, pop a shredder if you want to. Leave a couple minutes early. Make sure you get started up, going good. There's my boy old Lee, I'm a knife guy. It's good to see you in here, man. I know Lee is a very, very busy fella. That's a prime example of a hardworking American right there. That guy's already monetized on YouTube, guys. But he's working hard to to make his American dreams come true. And hats off to that guy, man. He's you know that's awesome that he's putting in the hard work to take care of him and his. But hey, I love you too, Nick Martino. I love all you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Y'all have all been here for me, through some dark times, and I appreciate it. Let me tell you something, guys. I don't know that I've ever laughed as much in my life as I have in this past year. Um, the humor in this group is priceless. And some of you guys, I'll be honest, were kind of late bloomers. Um, I remember a year ago seeing Patina Turner comment in the chat, and it was all very matter of fact. It was all very professional. It was all very informative, and now the guy literally makes me belly laugh every single day. There's not a day goes by that I don't laugh so hard. body shakes. It's something that Patina Turner has said, or something that Kyle has said, or something that Mimo has said. I hate mentioning names because I know I'm always going to forget somebody. But even if you don't care about knives, man, if you've got a little bit of a twisted sense of humor, this is the place to be. Um, it's it's awesome, man. If you back up a little further, oh man, you guys kill me. But I do want to give a shout out to everybody who made it this far, and it looks like it's going to make it the whole 24 hours. I want to give a shout out to everybody that tried. A shout out to everybody that watched 1 hour. I don't care, but and the mod work tonight has been incredible. You know, Stacy's been on it on every channel. You know, Kyle and Patina. My mods are the better than I could ask for, better than I need really for my channel. But guys, last I looked, I was at about 780 subs. I would really love to hit 1,000. I'm not gonna lie. It's not about the being monetized because it's a very shut up, Kyle. It's a very uh, minimal amount of money to begin with at that low a sub count. But just for the pride of things, I'd love to. And for you guys who haven't ever been to my channel, I want to just take a couple of minutes to explain what I do. Because I don't do knife reviews. I don't tell you what it weighs and how long the blade is and all that stuff. I tell you how a knife makes me feel. Maybe it's silly that I draw some emotion from a cutting tool, but I do. My passion is in heat treat and quality steel. Therefore, my passion has led me to American made knives. Um, there are other passions that I have that have also led me to American made knives. I do not look down on, I do not hate your Chinese made knife. I do not look down on you for having one or carrying one. This is just what I choose to put my time and money into is American made blades because I believe they provide the best heat treats and the best steels on the market. Um, so if you're at all interested in American made knives and you want to hear a guy that, you know, just with a high school education, try to talk about super steels and carbides and austinites and silly shit like that. Come visit me at Edgy American. I apologize that I changed my channel name at the worst time possible. I really didn't think about it because, like I said, I wasn't. Uh, yeah, you're right, Last Ranger. If there's already an angry American, um, uh, he actually wrote a book. But anyway, so yeah, I apologize for making it a little more confusing than it had to be at a inopportune time. And Kyle Kuna was right. Kyle Kuna is 100% right. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what it costs. 14C is a super steel, and here's why. A super steel has nothing to do with cost. It has to do with performance. And many of you guys' $50 knife with 14C 28-inch steel is outcutting your buddy's $400 M399. 14C is a super steel. Fight me, fight Kyle, because we're right. 6 more minutes. I can't believe I'm struggling for something to say. My voice is starting to give way. But man, what a year we've had. Not just for Knives Live, but just in this community altogether. Man, think about the great people that we've got to rejoice with and be happy for and see hit mile markers and you know, Scab over at Quaboris Cutler, he's just blowing up day by day. You guys want to know how Scab's blowing up? Hard fucking work. That's how. Scab never stops putting in the work. Son, that man is posting shorts and full length videos all day, every day. Go check the man out. There's Bob, the knife junkie, DeMarco, who I've said it before and I'll say it again. Nobody does it better than the knife junkie. That man is a class act. He puts out quality content. We've got to see guys like Grumpy and guys like Mattis Faction and Brandon Thrasher and Stevie, and I know I'm going to forget some, and I apologize for that. But and we've seen so many of these channels who, if you asked them a year ago, told you they didn't believe they would ever hit 1,000. And they've all done it this year, and it's all been uh, purely from time put in. These guys put their heart and soul into it. They put their time into it. They open the doors to their life and invite us in, and it's incredible. You don't even have to like knives. You don't have to like knife content to realize when you're around good people and to enjoy spending time with good people. That's what this community is about. We've seen it time and again. We saw it with the Jason Brown fundraising that this group of people can do amazing things. When we get a little bit of coordination and somebody herds all these cats in the same direction, man, there's nothing they can't do. You know, Grumpy Grunt says he was 130 something for Knives Live. You know, people would probably question my sanity about inviting a guy with 130 subs to do a time slot when you know the uh, the main purpose is to get as much exposure as possible. But I was kind of baiting him for that because I knew Grumpy was going places, and I knew if I got him in the first year, he'd be back. He'd be back again. He's a great guy. Um, this all this content is so different, guys. You're never gonna see or hear or feel the same thing twice. That's what's so amazing about it. So, like I say, once again, Lacey Lace, congratulations on your win, guys. If you're looking for a sharpening service, I'm not taking anything away from Jared Neve. Jared Neve is an incredible knife sharpener. However, his books stay closed for months at a time because he's so behind. Right here in our community, people we know, people we talk to nearly on a nightly basis, like Lacey Lace and Kyle Kunel, are out there offering a tremendous knife sharpening services for an absolute insane prices. It's really too cheap. But yeah, hit those guys up if you need a knife sharpening. I know there's another. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Freak Show. I apologize that I always screw that up. Yeah, I Love Knives said it. Freak Show has been sharpening for a long, long time. Mike Emler does sharpening. All these guys have sharpening service. Some of these guys are subsidizing their income. Some of these guys it's their only income. So, help them out when you can. Looks like I'm almost out of time. Yeah, like Acid Test Kid said, hey man, hit that like button if you don't mind. Help me out a little bit. Um, if your wife's got an account and your kids got an account, a sub to Edgy American would be much appreciated. I'll take what I can get. So yeah, um, I guess that's it for today, guys. I'm going to sit here and fight stay awake to catch the rest of it. Um, don't call me, don't text me late this evening because I will not be around. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for y'all. And just like any of my videos, you guys know I deeply appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. Peace. Love y'all.